Galactic Priestess. I was reading a note, sorry. Galactus Priestess of Spiral Light. All right. So I have information for you. And tomorrow I'll be giving out some codes so that you can utilize these codes for tomorrow. I had to do my hair again this morning. First I had it up in a bun. And Spirit was like, okay, because of the energy that's coming in, I want you to take it down and massage your scalp really good and oil it. And then what I want you to do is spray your hair with water and rosemary, purified water and rosemary, and it's coated. Okay, it's coated water for my hair. And I swear, after shout out to Donna, who's a member of our Be So Light family. The hair oil that she sent me, that I mix with my beeswax oiling, it's phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I took my hair down. I was just like, damn, it grew again. I was like, okay, twist it back up. Spiral twist, 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 twist. Leave it. There they go. Jets have been jetting through the air like crazy. I don't know what their problem is. I know what they're doing. Okay, so when I got in the bath yesterday, I asked for the question, what is the message that I need to give to the people? I'm drinking cacao right now. So here's the message. And one of them, I said, people need to hear that, because there's still some people struggling and getting caught up in the old energy and getting stressed out about it. And they shouldn't be stressing themselves when the system did it to them. So, okay, the first message is, I talked about this before. Don't get yourself stressed out when it comes to bills, your credit cards, your high interest rates, or whatever you got tricked into, signing and all that stuff, whatever. It is not your fault. Just put it that way. Okay? You've been out doing your thing and the company goes down, you lose your job position, you had all that, now all this stuff is done. It is not your fault. They set this up, they did this. It's not your fault. And don't take that on. Okay? I know this is easier said than done, because you run into panic mode, because it's an old energy that they've been implementing forever, always putting people in panic mode. And to really understand that it's not your fault, okay? Not your fault. Not your fault. Unless you were just a bad person on your job and stuff and they had to fire you. Okay, yeah, take accountability there. But don't let it, if you showed up to work and all of a sudden you got a text or an email telling you that your job position is gone and a whole bunch of other people just lost their job all in the same day, that's not your fault. Okay, that's not your fault. That's the system breaking down, and that's the system doing what it's doing. Okay, we called this energy in to get rid of the timeline that kept enslaving us into a false reality. Okay, we called in this divine light to come and anchor in so that we can see, we can hear clearly, so that we can actually see what's going on. Now we're in that age of Aquarius where we can see these things now. And yes, it's not pleasant. Okay? So we call this all in. We brought this in so we can shift, make this shift. Now, the next part of the message is those of you that are going to be traveling this weekend, going somewhere, are you going to be a part of the higher vibration if you're going doing grid light, gridding codes, wherever you're feeling called to go. Wherever you're going, number one, if your vehicle is not up to sniff, do not take your vehicle. Get a rental. Do not be brave and do something cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If you've never driven an electric car before, decide that you're going to take a rental electric car. Don't do that to yourself. Because if you don't know how that works and you go past your battery stuff and you don't know where all your charging places are, you're going to find yourself in a timeline that's not going to be good. You're not going to be a happy camper. Okay? Stick with what you know. Next one. When you are in travel, because of the high amount of supercharged plasmic light that is coming in, make sure you keep your gas tank at a decent proportion. Don't be driving around close to dating E and you just gonna wing it and see how far you can push it. Don't do that. Because what's going to happen, the energy, when it surges up, it spikes and energy pools and things get evaporated pretty fast. Okay? So please make sure you stay up on your gas. If you're up in the mountains, get your gas up where you are. Do not wait to come driving down and think you're going to have the option to get gas at the nearest town or something. And this is the reason why. We have to be prepared for timeline shiftings. And these timeline shiftings can very well look like energy surges. Wherever you might be stopping, there might be problems. And you might not be able to get gas in that city or that town. They might have a fluctuation of energy where their energy power went out in that place. And you're not going to be able to get gas there. You're going to be shit out of luck. So wherever you are, get your gas in that area if you're making your journeys back home. Do not play in this gap of timelines right here between now and Saturday. Okay? Don't be doing it. I should really say between now and Sunday. Make sure you have yourself well covered. Take the necessary precautions to have a little something extra to be ahead of the game. Don't be using and thinking your same old patterns and gonna wing it, because it might just be on your luck that you're not gonna be able to pull that off. Something can shift and it'll be a different reality you have to deal with. Okay? It's moving that fast. So you have to stay ahead of the game and stay prepared. Think of it like this. You go through the door, go through another door. Okay, come back through a door, come back through another door. Everything's shifting, just like doors. Shifting, timelines shifting rapidly. Okay? You have to stay prepared. Especially when you're driving and you're journeying and you're driving long hours. Thank you. Make sure that you take the time to hydrate yourself, to make sure you get out and get yourself regrounded. You know where you're going. Okay? Being aware, breathing, belly breathing, making sure you're aligned. All this is necessary right now. So you don't get caught in a timeline and say, oh, well, shoot, I come here all the time and that's never happened before. Of course, because you're moving through different timelines. So be prepared. Stay ahead of the game. Don't be going out and you're doing your journey and then you're going to risk it waiting, because you don't know if you stop off in that pocket, that city, something might be down and you can't get your gas there. Okay? You can't go get your extra money out of that ATM. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Just because when you're driving and you decide to pull off in a city doesn't mean that city energy ley line is online. That's how you have to think now. And it's just because of the shifting. Okay, so I gave that message. Now, the rest came in. That was all about the shiftings, the timelines. That's the main thing we have to deal with. We have to stay on top of that. Some of you are going to see it when it's shifting, and you're going to be able to catch it and say, wait a minute. Okay? You're going to catch it. You're going to say, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay, this doesn't feel right. Soon as you feel that and it doesn't feel aligned, it doesn't feel right, just simply take a breath, step out, ask for the new higher timeline, snap yourself in on it, and shift out of it. Okay? You have the ability to do that, but you have to be aware of and noticing when it's happening like that. Okay? So, talked about that. That's the message I got so far. I'm supposed to do another bath after this teaching, get back in the water again, because I saw some very interesting things with the coastline. Now, Stefan, I think it was Stefan. I think it was him. Can't quite remember. I'll just say, someone of the light workers said that it was going to be very interesting that there was going to be hurricanes on certain parts of the United States, places that normally don't have hurricanes. Soon as that was said, my mind just went shoo. I go, show me what that means. Shoo, and expanded. I was like, I'm loving this. Showed me the whole United States. And it showed these spiraling hurricanes around all the East Coast, Florida, Puerto Rico, like it normally likes to hit, then Texas area, down in Louisiana, like it normally. Okay, that's going to go through and do another pattern. Okay. Then it shifted and showed all down around California coastline, but not lower, not southern. It's going to come up northern. It's going to come up all up on the side of Oregon and Washington. Remember that movie? What was that movie? Day After Tomorrow. Remember how Day After Tomorrow things were shifting like crazy? The temperatures were plummeting and they were having all kind of crazy weather phenomenal things happen. I'm getting goosebumps right now. That's where we are. So places that don't have hurricanes gonna have hurricanes. Places that normally don't have tornadoes gonna have tornadoes. It's already doing that because of the amount of waves that's hitting the planet is shifting patterns. And the patterns are actually doing that. Now when you get man playing around, tinkering around his tinker toys and playing around with his little tinker toys, he's going to put his little pieces out there and going to mess up other stuff. Now, some things then got out of hand. They can't retract it. They didn't open up something like they shouldn't have, and now they causing all this mayhem. You know what amazes me with these Tinkerbot xenomorph beings? They go out there and they start all this hoopla mess on the people, causing havoc. But they forget that they're around us and they are part of the havoc. They're going to endure it too. So it's kind of like, we didn't take ourselves out of the equation, you know. Hello, dum-dums. So they forget they're down here too. Okay. So the jets have been flying crazy, jetting through the air, doing all their little high velocity speed. So that's going to be picking up. Okay. When do we start having hurricane season? Are we getting ready to go into that? Okay. It's going to start up. It's going to go like this. Kind of like a smile. The bottom part of the United States is going to have a smile. It's going to be all in that track right there. Okay. Now, energetically reasoning, hopefully the timelines that our star family can redirect it. They're having their meetings. They already see what the Nefarian ones are trying to do. So they are going to be infiltrating that timeline. They're going to be taking it down. And they're going to do it in a very unique way. I wish I could just sit up in the cosmos with the cosmo grandmothers and grandfathers and just sit there and just be watching. Timing, like you hit a little button, you go, bing, bring that up. What's going on there? Oh, look at all this shenanigans, what they doing. They still haven't learned their lesson. They still trying to do the same old stupidness. Bing, pull that one. Oh, look at that. Now you got these people here worrying. They saying this and doing this, but they actually doing this. Okay. Another piece of info. If you've been coming across any TikTok information about the monolith, like these monolith things showing up in Las Vegas, pay attention to the time stamp. Some of that is about 4 years old. Some of it is 9 months ago that they're using. And anyway, anytime those show up, all they're doing is recording. Those are recorders. They're recording, they're taking in information, kind of like a Lemurian, how the Lemurian downloads the information and makes little files. That's what that 12-foot tower thing is doing. It's recording. That's why it can just pop up anywhere. It wants to pop up somewhere and it's recording. It's taking pictures, it's recording. It is not of this earth. Okay? It is recording. It's time stamping. Right before something major is getting ready to shift, they show up and they start recording, time stamping what things were, what the vibration of the planet was at this time, and they're making note of it. Okay? So if you hear anything about the monolithic towers that are appearing places, they're recording things. They can also be used as portal doorways for the ones who are doing the recordings, the timekeeping. Thank you. The timekeepers, they keep the note time stamps of the earth of certain things that are going on. Okay, that's what that whole process is for. Thank you. Thank you for that. So I was kind of like, when I heard about it, I said, oh, it's like Phantasm, where they had the two tower-like things that showed up in the middle of the desert area, and you put your hands on it, and it opens up the portal, but it causes the draft where you can go in it. But they're vibrational. When there's two of them, it's vibrational. Okay? So I was like, oh, okay. So today we have this 3 27, and 9 again. So we have the 399 energy. What's going to be coming to an end today? This is the reason why I titled it, Have You Made a Decision Yet? Have you made a decision? So, final message to give. This one was in a dream. And I thought this one, first of all, it felt so real. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even realize I got up. So what day is it? I was asking myself in the dream what day it was because it felt so surreal. So in this visional dream, I come out of a friend's house or someone that I was visiting, and I said, hey, I just want to go out outside before the sun comes up, and I want to take some pictures of the yards and take pictures of the trees. She goes, oh yeah, go on out, do your thing. I'll get breakfast ready, blah, blah, blah. We'll all go out and we'll all go do our medicine work. And I said, absolutely. So I walk out and the sun's not coming up, but I'm wondering why when I walk out, there's like this glowing light of amber color light. And I'm like, why is the sky looking like that? And then when I look at the sky, it's not the sky I'm looking at. It is literally a big ass planet sitting right there, just huge. And it was kind of like this ambery color, real pretty, and it was just huge. I mean, it was just enough to make you stop and say, we're too close to that planet. That planet is too close to us. And I said, y'all get out here. Come take a look at this. And they said, what are you taking a picture of? I said, I don't think it's going to fit on my camera. And so they come out and they look up and they go, what the hell is that? And I said, I don't think we're supposed to be seeing this because there's no clouds out here. As soon as I said that, all of a sudden these clouds come out of nowhere to cover it up so you don't see it. And then we watched it all take place and we're standing there looking at it. And I said, looking at it, I said, look how fast those clouds came in as soon as I said it, because we weren't supposed to see this, but we can see it, this big ass planet right here. Right here, right here, right here. I said, no wonder why things are going crazy on our planet. We got this pool and stuff because this, I said, yeah. And they said, do you think this is Nubura? I said, could be, but it's really big. I mean, it's really super big. And the clouds keep covering it up and it's covering it up. And we're just standing there looking at it. And I turned and I said, maybe this is part 2 of the movie Nope. And they start laughing, saying, or either we're in the movie Nope. I don't know. But it just, the clouds came in, covered up the planet so we couldn't see it. And then it just made everything encased like a regular day, like coming out. And then we just watched how like the sun came in over with the clouds, like it just drifted over the clouds. And that was it. Like it was sunlight, but cloudy. But that big ass planet was sitting right there. So when I woke up, I said, that was so surreal. It was so surreal. Like you could really just see it and witness it. And it was sitting right there. And it's kind of like, let me put it to you this way. You know that scene in Alien versus, no, wait, Predators. The one where they got dropped off on the planet, okay? They got dropped off. They were all the prisoner or whatever, military people, that one. Remember that one? And this is where they are being hunted and they have to figure out who's hunting them. Remember the scene where they are walking around and the two military people are saying, where are we, trying to figure it out. And then they come to the edge and they look up and they see the planets. And they said, we're going to need a different plan, because they realized they're not on Earth. They're somewhere else. That's what it reminded me of. It's that one planet was really close to us, where you could see the whole curve of it. And it had like a golden sheen of glowing around it, just on the curve side, because you could just see the curve. That's how big it was. And I was like, wow, I wonder how long they've been doing this lie. So that's the messages I have so far. And it was all because I took that new sleeping with the passion flower, skullcap, and hops in it. Remember the ones I showed you yesterday? Yeah, I took that last night. And matter of fact, I took the bliss one, mixed it in a little bit of my apple juice and water, sat it on my charger, and put that in there. And it had an entirely different taste, entirely different feel. I felt like I was just in this floating energy with the plants. It's like my little charger charged up that tincture, and it took the sweetness out of the apple juice. And it was just this like fruity taste, but not super sweet, because I put half water, half juice if I'm going to put any kind of minerals and stuff, because sometimes I don't want to have to taste the minerals just the way they are because they're too strong. So I'll put it in something so I can take it. Yeah, totally like brought the sugar sweetness down, but it was just pleasant and it was nice and smooth tasting. I said, I love my chargers. I like how I made my coated chargers. Love it. And they're just basic made, and I'm not using a resin because I don't really know how I would respond to putting my resin, and I don't want to be smelling that due to, asthma and all that stuff. I don't want to do that. So this one, because I do codes anyway, and I can put them in glass, and I can put them in the water, and I can put them on things and give them to people, I just started playing around with it and made the coaster for it and put my codes in that and just set it on there. And it, lo and behold, if you put something sweet and sugary, it totally, I'm like, oh, I like that. Let's see. So your gifts are going to start amping up. New inspirational thought processes are going to be coming in. Things that you have been thinking about you wanted to do or get your hands on or do. You're going to be like, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to try this out. You're going to find yourself going to art stores or whatever and getting certain things, putting together certain geometric shapes and codes. You're going to find yourself reading things that you normally would not read. That's giving you charges and opening up the doors. Because who is to say that in other lifetimes that you had this knowledge, but you were cut off from it so that you couldn't remember it. But now, because we're in a new warp of time, new higher timeline coming in, that we are gridding in and anchoring, now those gifts that have been sitting in the background, waiting for you to tap into, start coming forward. And then you start to remember, oh yes, I could do this. Oh yes, I remember how to do this. A lot of times when we are doing things that are creative or inspirational, it's because we did it before. It's in our DNA, it's in our soul imprinted energy that's sitting there, just waiting for that spark of light to shine on it so it can make you look at it and say, oh, I don't know where this is coming from, but it goes like this. It goes like that. It happens like this. So it's a lot of that's going to be picking up, and it's really going to super surge right after this eclipse. So get ready, which is why the title is, Did You Make a Decision? Did you make a decision yet about moving up into the higher timelines? Did you make a decision yet about what no longer serves you anymore? Are you ready to just say, you know what, I'm done with this? Did you make a decision to make a stand on something that you believe in and stop hiding yourself? Did you make a decision to speak your truth and say it like it is? Did you make a decision on, you know what, I need to get invested in this, or I need to invest in myself on this, or I need to go take care of my health like this, or I need some help with this? Did you make a decision to finally link and sync yourself up to a better outcome? Did you finally make a decision? Today is the day that you sit back and you say, did you make a decision? And if you did make a decision, are you ready to allow yourself to see and feel and receive the results? Did you make a decision? Okay. So today is the blue electric night. I activate in order to dream, bonding intuitions. I seal the input of abundance with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of accomplishments. The color is blue. Saturn is the planet. The chakra is the solar plexus to receive. And the earth family is signal. So then we drop down and see the message of the day. And there is no room today. It's just a box, just a square. It's funny, I got like this vibrational thing going on in my ear. Cosmic history introduces a new vibrational frequency that contains a new galactic store and load of knowledge. What did I just say? Let me read that again. Cosmic history introduces a new vibrational frequency that contains a new galactic store and load of knowledge. Okay, so we have Sirius B52, hyperplasmic enlightenment, which is already engulfing the planet. And then we have the seventh mental sphere, the perceiver right in the center. Now, this is funny. When Spirit was saying, take your bun down, I need you to do this kind of pattern, bring this, and anchor in the back. I said, okay, I'll go do that. Anchor. Cover up, sprayed hair, knowledge. And this one is showing right in the center, right here, is the coding. This is coding day, right here. This ninth time dimension, inner core time. So there's a lot of shifting that we're going to feel that actually was coming in last night. I was feeling it. Okay. So we're going to have that ninth dimensional stuff. This is a good place where you want to be. You want to be working that ninth dimensional energy. So this is also tied in with eagle vision. Yesterday was like the wizard of timelessness, but today we're in like eagle vision. What is the eagle looking at? What is the eagle seeing? What is the eagle gazing out at, looking at? Okay. What is the eagle looking at? The color blue is everything. The color blue is everything. The blue above, the blue below, the blue. How that blue shields you from those weird ass laser energies that will just bypass the blue. Bypass that blue. You ever notice like why in Greece they have like the white buildings with the blue roofs? I found that fascinating. To kind of, when you go down the rabbit hole, you start doing the research on the blue, this specific blue. You know, the ones that are still standing when things get burned up and it's still standing there and nothing ever happened to it because of the light spectrum. The light spectrum. Did you know that that's how a lot of your star beings that are watching you and looking at you, say like when you go out and you just be going out walking at a park somewhere, ain't nobody around, and you snapping pictures and taking things, and you go back and look at the pictures and you see these orbs of light, these big old orb, rainbow bubble looking things in your pictures, and then you kind of go in and look at it a little more and you see a zeta being, maybe another being looking at you, watching you. But then you have a flashback when you were out by yourself walking around snapping pictures and you were doing something, or if you were doing a live on your phone and all of a sudden there was a weird interference, like your signal went out when it shouldn't have went out because you were in a place where you shouldn't have had a problem, but it just goes out. And you'd be wondering why you had interference till you go back and look at your pictures. They travel in those orbs of light in certain spectrum, bluish orbs, and the purple, because you can't see with your own eyes when they're around you and standing right next to you when they're doing it until you take a picture. And then when you take a picture, you capture it right at the time when they freak out. You're going to take a picture. And then they just go, oh, she's taking a picture right in our direction. Oh, we don't have time to get out of here. And then you catch them like this. And then I always get shocked when I'm looking at pictures that I snapped with the sun, or I snapped near a tree, and you go and see those orbs, and then you see a flash of light or something, you see that light coming straight down. You look at that, it's in the light, it's in the orbs. They move through that. They move through it. They're like their own special shields all around them, kind of like how Predator. They use that mirroring technology where you can't see them. They blend them right in. They're watching you. Mm-hmm. So we had a picture. I'm still trying to debunk it. When I was out doing my acupuncture, and a little being show up in a little light bubble. It comes in. I had two pictures. First one shows flicker of the light, shows like a greenish like arrow, and then the next picture shows this little being in there looking at me. Watching what I'm doing. Everybody's watching right now. Everybody's watching everybody. Everybody wants to see who's doing what, who's getting it together, who's learning, who's stepping up, who's really getting bright, who's really shining. They want to see what you know. Have you figured yourself out yet? Have you figured out that you can manifest a ball of light in a spectrum of energy that's invisible and toss it with intention and get results that you're looking for? They want to see if you know how to do that. Anybody? You remember that? Oh, I know. This might sound a little far-fetched, right? Are you feeling kind of uncomfortable? Did you know that you can get... Hold on, let me show you. This is one of those days, you guys. Unlike yesterday, it was like, I gotta run, I gotta go. But did you know? And these are real special when I got these. I haven't been able to find these anywhere. I always go to Shasta. Shasta's where you get your medicine. Sedona is another place where you can get your medicine. But did you know that these type of crystals, like this, that if you held them up to your eyes, actually helps with correcting your eyes. They actually look like eyeglasses. Yeah, did you know that? Special clear-cut ones like this. Look at that. Look at that. These are special ones. When you come across these, get them. Don't be waiting. These are not easy to get. So when they were with the guy up in Shasta, Soul Connections, he had gotten back from Tucson. And I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, I got some new crystals in there. They're 6-sided cut. Nice points, but really good. You see those, get them. You want to have a big one and a little one, side by side. There's a reason, okay? And you keep them in your medicine pouch and make sure you have something in between them so they don't be clashing together and cause a disturbance with themselves. And keep them in your pouch. You'll know exactly when to use those. Hey, Darla. No, honey. No. These are clear-cut quartz with intention. Oh, no, I got my Herkimers. I got one that they labeled as a Tibetan one, and it's not a Tibetan one. It's a big-ass Herkimer diamond. And I'm like, that's a Herkimer. I bought it for like, I think she was selling it for $12, $13 because she just thought it was just a regular thing. I said, whoa. Yeah. So get your crystals when you're being guided to get those, because you'll find out later what you're supposed to be using them for. Is at the time when they present themselves, you need to get it because there's some codes or something in there that you're going to need it for. We're moving up into those higher realms. All your new stuff is waiting for you. You got to have access to it. Okay, so pay attention to when you're getting the guidance to get something or to go somewhere that you have to go get it. And vet it out and say, straight up, ask questions and say, okay, so I'm getting guidance to go here. Is this for my highest good? Is this for divine alignment? Is this coming from a divine alignment? If it stays and it feels good, you go. If all of a sudden it gets like real quiet and it gets staticky and all of a sudden it starts to feel weird and it leaves, don't go, because that's an artificial information coming through. We are being flooded with a lot of the artificial stuff and CGI. You can't believe everything that you see. You vet it out. If it's something going on, you reach right up into the ethers of truth, light, divineness, and ask the question. And it will come back and say yes. Or if you don't hear anything, you're going to know that's artificial. You're going to know. Okay? We have the right to now start asking those questions and vetting it out. And we have the right to start holding certain beings accountable for what they've been doing. And we don't have to go confront them. We don't have to go out in the middle of the street and protest. We simply can just sit and be and zone, shoot that energy out, and make a point of it. And watch how it goes out, how it affects things. We can do that now. A lot of us are charging up. You feel like hot volcano energy. You're like getting super hot and heated. When you start thinking of the changes and the things that are going on, you start feeling that charge in you. It's not a hot flash. It's a galactic flash. Okay? It just hits you and it's like, dang, woo, this is coming in. Everybody hold on. I don't know which way I'm going to expand, but it's coming in fast. So tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping codes. Make sure you get your water. And then on Saturday, I'll do the closing of this part of the ceremony. Yeah, hot all the time. The heat started, for me, started kicking in on, I started having a heat index, I think it was Sunday. But keep in mind, we're having the heat flashing. And women, thank you, thank you. I almost forgot about that. Thank you, almost forgot. Okay, so when I went to the health food store yesterday, I got hit with information in the health food store because the owner of the health food store, every time when I come in, I deliver a message for her. And she said, thank you to me when I was in yesterday. She goes, thank you so much for the message that you gave me when you told me watch out for the planes that come through at 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the evening, sometimes 8, sound like a dust cropper. Watch out for that one. They spraying us. And then the next day or that night, you're going to be congested and not feeling right. So it happened. And she said the next day I woke up, I was hacking and coughing. Didn't know why, but I remember when I heard the sound of that plane and it didn't make sense to me. And then I was not feeling right. I said, told you. She goes, you are tapped in. I said, oh, honey, it's just not tapped in. I'm just galactic, synced up right now. That's all it is. You can be that too. Just get galactically synced up. So when I was in there, she goes, is there anything else I need to be aware of? I said, okay, hold on. Yes, came in fast. I said, more people are going to be coming in complaining about hair loss. They're going to be coming in complaining about irritation to their eyes and throat. That's typical. But it's the amount of plasmic light that's coming in that's really going to hit women all in their belly, down through the hips, into the womb area, expanding us because we have to carry more light now. And a lot of us are not going to like that feeling because we're going to feel like we're just expanding and we didn't do anything to be expanding like this. Like we just became these walking figures of the ancient goddesses. And we have this energy we're holding and we're going to be anchoring the light. We have to anchor the light. It has to come through us. We are the womb carriers. Whether you have birthed a child or not, you are still a signature divine woman that has that womb that is signature and imprinted on to be able to do this. So we're going to be dropping, anchoring light through us. It's going to come through like lightning and it's going to drop. That's why we're all heating up. All right? That's why it's happening. And she goes, yeah, I've been getting hot like crazy. And it's not a hot flash. I said, exactly. So I just went on about my business, got in the car and come home, do what I got to do. But the heat is on. The heat is on. For the stream. Pressure's high. We need to go back and go listen to that song because they were telling us that because the heat is on. Do 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 do. Remember that song? The heat is on. So, oh my Lord, help us all. Help us get through this. We're trying our best. We are in kin number 3 today, okay? Now I want you to look at this. We're in kin number 3. Look at the synchronicity of how the galactic of the galaxy talks to us. We're in kin number 3. the third month on the 27th of a 9 energy year, of this supposedly year. Remember, we don't really know what year it really is because they've lied so much. But I figure, give or take, 3,600 and something difference of cheating us out of time. Add that on, that'll kind of round it up and give us basis where we really are. So we're dealing in that heart chakra energy, and that is that three energy. So today, the Trinity is upon us. The Trinity. Should I get clear water glass and magic marker for tomorrow? Yes, honey, yes. Get your glass water and a Sharpie. Just get a Sharpie and have it ready to go. And have pen and paper so you can write it down. Also, if you want to write it down in your journal, so you'll have that code. But remember, everyone, the rule of thumb, when I throw the codes and I send it through your glass of water, you need to taste your water first before I send the code. That's how you know you got it. Because if you taste that slickiness or it tastes like air, that's the code. That's the vibration. Okay? Always taste your water. And you always circle the code on your glass. You don't just put it on there. Rule of thumb. Anytime you work with a sacred geometry, a code, a symbol, whatever, you put a circle around it, that activates it and makes it 3 to 4 times stronger, sometimes 10 times stronger, depending on what the code is or the shape or the geometry of it. Okay? So, all right. So we are definitely into that. Wow, we are going to see a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow's Friday. Again, we just had a weekend. Did we or did we not just had a weekend? I like how the young one says it to me. The young one always said, we're back in a weekend again. Didn't we just have a weekend? I said, yeah, honey, we just had a weekend. It's back again. I go, yeah. I don't understand how it's going by so fast. I said, oh, it's going by fast. It's surging. It is speeding up. We are warping through timelines, moving fast. We are accelerating in ourselves. That's why you ain't got time. Make a decision. Make a decision today. Okay, today's the day. You step beyond limitations. You step beyond fear of yourself. You step beyond the head talk. Make a decision. Make a decision today. Step beyond it. Step beyond the old reality of the beliefs, the neural pathways of the old stuff. Step beyond it. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the messages today. Also, if you have never gotten this book, and I want to give a shout out when I first heard about this book. This was presented through Ashira years and years and years ago when she presented it, and then it showed up on Black Magic 369. So Rosben, this book is awesome. You can go to rosben.net, RASB like in boy, EN.net, and purchase this book. Now, if you've never heard of this book or anything, this book, I got all kind of stuff going on in this book. But one of the things I like, he writes explicit details about how copper, how crystals work with your body, your DNA. He writes it in a way that's linked to the melanin codes of the body. So he says right here, the science of super synergy. Okay, I'm reading it from the book. Says quartz crystal is a superconductor of several forms of electromagnetic radiation. The semiconductor of power frequency, the conductor of visible light and infrared radiation. It is also a resonator of all forms of radio waves. So this is why they use it in everything. They use it in your cell phones. They use it in your TV. They use it all in the computers because it can hold and it conducts and it can send waves and put the knowledge in. This book has a lot of information, and especially did a really good write-up on Lemurians, how the Lemurians work. He talks about the electromagnetic energy, plasma light, how it comes through. And he writes it in such a way, it's so in depth, but yet understandable. And it's also, when you're reading it, when you dive into it, he puts even the Kemet history behind it. So the Kemetic history. So if this is something that draws you, you want to know a little bit more, like this. Okay. Talking about the Lemurians, how those crystals work. Okay. What they're linked to. A lot of info. Good book. Okay. Rocks of Ages. Rosbin. And that www.rosbin.net. Look it up. All right, let's jump into the meeting. Let's jump into what we are needing to do for our journal writing. It's been weird over here. 1 minute the sun comes out, next minute it goes down. 1 minute it comes out again, next minute it goes down. I'm like, okay, everything's bipolar right now. All right, whatever. We just go with it. They're interfering, doing their craziness. You know, it's kind of interesting when you really look at it. When beings have to be that destructive and be that manipulative because of the simple fact and fear that they know that they can no longer have control, that it's over, but they're still trying so hard to maintain the scenario. They're just trying so hard to keep it going. Because if there's an inkling of we can do this and keep it going, we can win this, if there's just a little bit of a hint of it, then they're in. Then they think they won it all. But because we keep slamming down those old timelines and keep stepping out of it, it's making it harder and harder for them to try to anchor it, and they can't do it. So just vet everything out now. Ask those questions. Is this divine messaging? Is this divine light from source? And if it's not, you just simply say, you are infringing upon my free will. I need you out of my space. You're not welcome here, and I don't consent to you. Get out. Let's say that. They have to, by universal law, obey that. Period. It's just the fact that they don't think you know how to say those words. You don't think about it to tell them. So that's why they stick around and create havoc. Okay, here comes our words. What is the message today? We've had this one before. I'm not doing that one again. Give me a different one. I'm not going to redo it. Oh, okay, fine. It just flipped over by itself. The spark of hustle. The spark of hustle. We already had that bliss card. The spark of hustle. And that number is a 17. So the spark of hustle. What is the hustle? Do you feel like you have to hustle? You don't have to hustle. You can just allow yourself to connect into flow. The spark of hustle. This is all about the spark of inspiration, divine intervention, finding your calling, work that makes you happy, renew hopes. How much space do you have to leave in your calendar for the sparks of inspiration that will be? Do you give yourself some time on your calendar for those sparks of inspiration? What do you do to actively fuel your flame of hope? Okay. What do you do to actively fuel your flame of hope? How can you make sure it fills your reserves rather than drain them? Okay, your energy. How do you fill yourself up? Keep your energy. Don't let anybody feed off of you. This is the time. Don't let people who don't have energy, they don't know how to reboot themselves. Don't let people be feeding off your energy. You know, they can hang out with you, but that person doesn't need to be feeding off anybody else. Don't jump into minds because you might not feel good. Because I purposely set myself up so people don't be diving in. You need to set yourself up because we got too many archons around here. So people are not tapping into you. Cut those hooks and those cords when you're done working with your clients, when you're done doing videos, when you're done doing teachings. Cut that and just simply say, your energy tapping into me is not welcome. I don't consent to you. You're doing a violation. Go tap into the sun, go tap into the moon, go tap into some kind of ether, whatever. Get your energy there. I'm not your source. Period. That goes for working at jobs that are drainers. They drain your energy. When you leave that job, cut straight down, get in your car, seal your energy up, call your energy back to yourself. I call back every bit of my own energy that has been utilized at this job that I've given to do this job. I call my energy back to me, whole, pristine, beautiful, recharge just for me. I call it back in wholeness. Boom. Take it back. Okay. Sacred geometry today is going to be, a lot of times we just forget to do that. We really do. We forget to cut those energies off. Cut the tap out of that energy. We forget. You just have to remember that. And especially if you work as a police officer, a fireman, you work as a nurse, a teacher, a doctor, psychologist. You're working on the phone all the time, taking calls of people who are going through it. Cut the cord. Go down with your hand or selenite and say, I now just release those hooks and cords of all those I worked with today. I send them all back to those rightful owners. And I only pull in all of my energy of divineness, pristine and cleaned up in its highest frequency back to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seal it up. Okay? You'll start feeling better. You won't feel so drained. A lot of people feel drained because they keep giving. And they allow themselves to get drained. Then they go try to find a place they can tap into, go take somebody else's energy. Then they get in trouble doing that. But this is not what you should be doing. Tap into higher frequencies. There's so much plasma light around. You can tap into that. That can feed you. That can nourish you. Tap into the divine light. Let it feed you. Let it take care of you. Don't tap into people because you don't know what they're going through. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I almost forgot about that. Okay. So this came up, and I'm going to speak about this. Don't get upset and get get yourself all riled up because I said this, but I want you to think about this. So I was watching a lot of the different rituals, cultural rituals of things different cultures do when they're healing themselves. And one of them I came across is, I said it before, is I want to say it's like the West Indies medicine culture, the India, Hinduism, but that's just a culture energy, following of their ways, how they do things, culture. Some of them, I can't say all follow this, but there is a thing that I came across this documentary of this guy who went to India and he was doing a report. He wanted to do a research on why do people go to these gatherings to get rid of their so-called attachments, entities, or their demons. And so he was allowed to go in. He was allowed to videotape it. And one of the things you see a lot of the women that are in and the men when they're releasing things that has come in contact with them and that's causing them havoc and they're releasing their inner demons or whatever, they start slinging their head around and their hair is whipping around, okay? It's whipping. They're trying to release whatever is on them off of them. If you are a person that likes to wear human hair, wigs, what do you think you're buying? Why do all of a sudden when you put that wig on, you get a weird headache? Weird things happen to you. And you can't figure it out. Relationships, all kind of stuff. Because that hair, human hair, is DNA imprinted on. And whatever that person was going through, you now purchased it, and now you're wearing it. In this timeline of anchoring, you need to really pay attention to what you're doing to your head, what you're putting on your head. Somebody else's DNA. Now, if you have alopecia, if you lost your hair during chemo, I get it. I went through those things. Get that. Never went through the chemo thing, but certain plant medicine that I did a lot of cleansing. Okay, all the meds and stuff that you go through thins your hair out. I wore the synthetic hair. Okay, never went to human hair. There was just something about that. Okay, pay attention to that, especially in the timelines that we're moving into. Do you really want to be wearing somebody else's stuff? I love the one thing that was such a beautiful video I saw earlier today where a young girl had lost her hair and her father grew out his hair long enough to make a wig just for her right before graduation so she would have it. It was his hair he gave to her. That's a perfect match because his DNA is in this child that created this child. That's a perfect match. That's not going to hurt her. But I guarantee you, if she was going to wear some human hair that was harvested after a ceremony of someone that was going through something horrific in their life, and then part of the ceremony afterwards is to cut the hair and starting all over, get rid of it, and then they go sell it, not to mention they dunk it in all the chemicals, cleansing it, but that's putting it on pause when you seal it in chemicals. Okay? Is it really worth it? Just saying. Be aware. Wow. 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 Oh, we got that again. Interesting. Okay, there's a couple of cards that came back in twice. Okay, here is change. Oh, we got that 3 energy. Here, the frequency of change supports our ability to gratefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Next to that, the light language card is Divine Masculine, 32. That's a 5 energy. Divine Masculine. Calling all the Divine Masculine. Being balanced within the self. The plant medicine that overlays that is going to be courage, which is motherwort. The motherwort plant. It almost looks like mugwort in a way, but it has these pretty little pink flowers that comes up with that. And motherwort, when that comes into play, is the number 13. 13 sacred to woman. This is all about the confidence and strength that you need within and only has to be awakened. So this, like I said, the motherwort current, this plant it looks like mugwort, but it has those pink flowers on it. And this is all about, in a magical way, it's about love, protection, truth, children, astral plane, confidence. It works with the element of water, works with that. So it is the plant that supports in longevity, listening to your heart. So one of the research parts, you can pull this plant up and dive deeper into it and find out its uses. I want to say that it actually slows down a hyperthyroidism. I want to think that. I'm not a doctor, not prescribing. Just thinking it's on that. But dive in, mother's wort, and take a journey and find out what that plant works with so that you know. Okay, inner guidance, cosmic consciousness, Cyrus, initiation is back. And the constellation, we got this 5 energy. Okay, we're moving into 5s. Leo kingdom. Leo, change. Kingdom. What's that lion? What's that lion all about? Holding that space. Imore says spiritual force field, protective light is surrounding you. You are safe. Keeping your light up. And then we're still moving into the dimensions. Working dimensions. This is our second time getting this card this week. We got this a couple days ago. I think it was the day before yesterday. Okay. So that is the message of today. We're going to keep it just straight and forward. All right, lovelies. Just be to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. When you start feeling hot, start thinking of what you're creating. Link that energy. Process it. Don't freak out about it. Just utilize it. Because we're revving up. And how do you make a crystal? How do you shine bright like a diamond? That's what that is. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. I'm going to pop into some water and dive deep and take a look-see about and see what's going on. And I ask you to enjoy the rest of your day. Have some cacao. Sit back and relax and just be. Chill. Watch the show. Watch the craziness and just laugh your ass off. Say, gosh, you're so stupid. Stupidism. The stupids are out. The stupidism. The crazy ones. Thank God I don't have to be on that timeline with them. Thank you. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. Much love to you. Journey well in everything that you do. Feel inspired. Stay true to yourself. Stay in your light and speak your truth. This is not a time to be trying to just be nice to everybody because you don't want to rock the boat. No, rock the boat. Rip the Band-Aid off. something you've been needing to say, just say it. But say it in a good way. Don't come off attacking. Say it in a good way. There's certain ways you can say it. All right. All right. Much love.